Hi guys, welcome to day 16 of the 20 days of Power BI challenge with Zachary Clement. It's been an amazing journey so far. We started from basically installing Power BI and now we're looking at DAX formulas in Power BI. Yesterday, we learned how to create calculated columns and measures in Power BI. We also learned about some of the differences and similarities between calculated columns and measures. Today, we're going to combine those knowledge the knowledge we've gathered from DAX on DAX. All right. We'll also create a measure table. I'll show you how to create a measure table, all right? And then we'll create some more measures and try to see how those measures fit into our analysis. Okay, so without further ado, let's hit the ground running. Awesome. So you'll notice that from the data pane here, our measures were created in the facts table. Alright, now you can create your measure in any table you want. Alright, however, even though measures have a different icon, right, beside their names, alright, from calculated columns and even numeric columns, right, it's always better to have your measures in a table, all right, grouped in a location, all right. So how do you do that? How do you do that? Okay, now let's create our measures table. To create your measure table, go to enter data. Okay, it's in your home tab. So click on enter data. Once you click on enter data, a window will pop up like this, right? So you can give the table a name. So every table must be created with a column, but I'll show you a way around that. So I'll call this measures. You'll notice that I've added an underscore before the name. The reason is so that it will always appear at the top of the table list. Okay, then this column, you can rename it if you like. You can leave it the way it is. So I'll just call it dummy. Okay, so because it's a dummy column, and then I'll hit load. Okay, so this will create this empty table where we can now move our columns or even create new measures, rather, where we can move our measures and create new measures into. Remember that measures are not domiciled in a specific table, all right? They can reference multiple tables at once, and they can also be referenced by other tables in calculations. Okay, so let's give a few minutes for our table to be created. Awesome. So the measure table has been created with the dummy column. Now we have some measures already. We've created those measures already, right? So we are going to move those measures into this table. I'm going to move those measures into our measure table. How do we do that? Okay, how do we do that? How do we go about that? Right, so once you click on the measure, you'll see the measure tool tab appear. Okay, where you see options to format, to specify the property and other stuff. All right, the structure. Now in the structure group, of ribbons that appear. You see the name of the measure followed by the table, the home table. So this is where we'll be doing the transfer. Okay, so I'll just click on fact sales. I'll hit measures. Once I do that, the measure has now been moved into the measures table we just created. Now it helps to do this at the beginning of your analysis, right? So that you don't spend time moving measures from one place to another. However, this is still okay, right? So once this is done, you see the measure average quantity has now appeared in the measures table we created. All right, so I'll go to the next measure. So this is facts first class shipping profit. Okay, so I'll change this to the measure table. So we have a couple more to go. So I'll just do that and we'll continue from there. Awesome. So as you can see, the measures have now been added to the measure table we created. Okay, so what's left now is to delete this column. So you delete that dummy column. Once you delete the dummy column, you can now create and add more measures to the measure table. So that's how to create a measure table. Awesome. So this is how to create a measure table. Okay, so let's visualize some of these measures that we've created so far. So we're going to use a card visual. All right, we're going to use a card visual to visualize our measures. Okay, so from the new Power BI interface, right, you can build a visual by simply dragging and dropping columns or just selecting columns. Okay, so you can either drag and drop, or you can click and select the columns you want to, or the values, right, the data you want to visualize. So if I check this, as soon as I select it, you can see Power BI begins to suggest chart types that fit that data. Okay, so if I select sales amount and basically all of my measures. So what I want to do is, so I'll just check all of that. Let's use the new card visual. Okay, so we have the new card visual here, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so the new card visual allows you to, okay, I'll remove the first. Awesome. So this is what we look. This is what we have. You can also do some on object interaction. When you click on this, you can format from there. You can open your format pane from there. You can apply some format option to the visual. Okay, so I'm just going to collapse this for now. I'm also going to collapse the visual tab. Okay, awesome. So let's format our card visual just very briefly. Okay, so but you can see that the total sale amount is 230 million. Total number of customers 793. the West sales amount is 725. Okay, and like we saw yesterday, when we built, when we added the West sales amount to our table, okay, with some of sales by region, you will see that the West sales amount returned the same value for all the region, all other region, including the West. Why? Because, like I said, the calculate function, any filter you put the calculate function overrides the existing filters in your data, right? So the hierarchy, it comes first before any other filter in your data. So right now, if you understand measures very well by now, you understand that at the point of creating that measure, all right, the filter did or changed the context to focus on only rows or only cells that had to do with the West region. So that is the context, that is the focus of that measure. So you cannot override that, okay, with any other what, any other filter. Okay, so let's quickly format these. Let's look at the style, shape and style. Okay, so I'm just going to, so you can adjust the card. Do you want it to be single, multiple row, or in a grid? Okay, so let's format the call out values. I'm just going to reduce that a bit. I'll reduce that a bit. Okay, and I'll change the horizontal alignment to the center. Okay, you can also choose which of the cards you want to format. Okay, let's say you want to give them different colors, you can definitely do that. Okay, so so for the cards, I'll turn on the shadow for the cards and then apply an accent bar. I just want that to be at the bottom. Awesome. So for the width, okay, so this looks okay. So we could turn off the borders, remove the border, turn off the background also. Okay, so I think I like it with the background on. Awesome. So this is our card visual. Alright, all the measures we've created has been placed on this card. You can see they return single values from the formula. Okay, now we created a particular column, a calculated column in the fact table. That column contains labels of whether the company made a loss, of whether the company made a loss or profit, okay, during a particular sale, for a particular sale. So I want us to visualize that, okay, and see what insights we can gain from there. All right, so I'm just going to select, awesome. So what chart type can we use for this? So this is profit, loss, or break even. Another thing we want to visualize is to actually look at the profit. Alright, so with the new updates, Power BI has what? Has applied or chosen a chart for us by default. Alright, it has suggested on this first row are suggestions of charts that we can use to visualize this selection of data. So this is currently sum of profit. So let's change our summary to average. So you could either click on that forward pointed arrow, change it to average, okay, or you can use the normal traditional right click to do that. So now, what's the interesting insight from our data, right? It appears that on average, the company sold more products at a loss than at a profit. Okay, so you can see on average, profits averaged at $54, about $55, but losses averaged at about $83. So why is that? We've also created another column. We created a calculated column called discount status. Okay, discount status. So let's check the discount status. Okay, so that it will add that as a label, as a legend, right, to our chart. And you can see the lighter blue represents where there were no discounts, and yes, for where discounts were applied, like where discount was applied. So you can see that most products that were sold at a loss, right, were discounted products. They were discounted products. While there's a mix of both discounted and non-discounted products in the profit bar, all right, or the profit label. So let's format this chart a little bit so we could add our data label. So the data labels to the chart, okay, and more options. We bring up the, let's just go down to, I'll turn off the legend, okay, and then for the data labels, let's expand that. For the value, we would like to see the title also. That is a new update. From the new update from Power BI, you can see you can add the title of your data labels, okay, and you can also add details, that is other values. Okay, you can add other values, you can add more details from other columns to your data label. These are the updates that have been made to the bar charts in Power BI. Okay, so decimal places, let's just make that 2 decimal places. Okay, awesome. So now, what have we been able to see? I'll just focus on this chart very quickly. Okay, what have we been able to see? What we're looking at right now is that discounted products were sold at a loss. A lot of discounted products. In fact, basically all the sales that were sold at that made a loss rather, okay, were discounted products. All of it, okay. Also, of course, we have a mix, and for product that broke even, right, there's no information on whether there's profit or loss. Okay, now if we want to find that out, one thing we can do is, instead of average of profit, we could just count. If we change that to count, right, if we change the aggregation to count, you see that there were some very equal break-even profits and discounted and non-discounted products, right? But basically, products that sold at a loss were discounted. So maybe the company can, look into that to, offer discounts more cautiously, or phase out products that are not moving in the market, rather than selling at a loss. All right, so how did we come about these insights? By creating calculated columns, right? By creating calculated columns, we're able to what? To uncover these very interesting insights from our data. And there's more to be done. There's a whole lot more insights that we can uncover from these data. Okay, a whole lot more insight, especially time-based insight, which is what our session tomorrow will be about. So join me tomorrow as we talk about time intelligence in Power BI. All right, using DAX to create time intelligence insights from your data, creating date tables and lots of date functions that you might have known or maybe will be very new to you. All right, so if you've come this far, take your time to also go through this data. If you uncover something that we've not really touched in class, you can share your feedback. We'd like to hear more from you. Okay, until tomorrow, I remain your facilitator, Boluwatifeolulupe. Thank you very, very much. See ya.
See you in the next tutorial. Until then, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell to get updates on new videos, and share this video with your friends. Bye for now.